Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2 Unit 4.1 Note, Day 1. Today we're going to be talking about factoring by using the greatest common factor. Our learning target today is to be able to find the greatest common factor, the GCF, of two or more monomials. Rules for factoring polynomials using the GCF. The first thing that we want to do is to make sure that all the terms in the polynomial. We got to find that GCF of all the terms. If the leading coefficient is negative, the GCF is negative. All right. After that, we're going to divide each term by the GCF. And then our final answer includes the GCF in front and the remainder in parentheses. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, if you don't know what number goes into 15 and 30, you need to do a little side work and list all the factors. Well, it's 1 and 15. 2 doesn't go in, but 3 and 5. And then 30. Okay, factors of 30, 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 5 and 6. Okay, excuse me. So if you don't know that, I would recommend getting a multiplication chart or using a calculator and figuring out. But the highest number they both have in common is 15. So that means that 15 is my GCF. I divide by 15. Now my GCF comes out front, and then my remainder, 15 divided by 15 is 1. And so I have 1x plus 30 divided by 15 is 2y. So this is my final answer right here, okay? The GCF is out front and the remainder is in parentheses, right? When I've got big numbers, the first thing I want to do is check, does 14 go into 84? And it does. So 14 is going to be my GCF. Now, I notice that they both have C's, and the smallest one is just C. So 14C is my GCF. 84 divided by 14 is 6. C to the fourth divided by C to the first. We subtract those. And then 14 divided by 14 is 1, and the C and the C cancel. So my final answer is 14C times 6C cubed minus 1. The GCF is out front, and the remainder is in parentheses. So the key thing for number 3 is we want the greatest common factor, not just any factor. Don't just say, guys, it's 2. No, I want the greatest common factor, and the greatest common factor is 4. All right, now let's look at the variables. They both have an A. I look for the smallest one. And then they both have B, but I want the smaller one. So 4AB is my GCF, that goes out front, and now I divide. 8 divided by 4 is 2. A squared divided by A is A, and the B's cancel. 4 divided by 4 is 1. A divided by A cancels, and B squared divided by B is B. GCF is out front, the remainder is back. Now, if I wanted to check my answer, what I could do is just distribute, and if I distribute, I should get what I started with, okay? But I'm not going to do that. All right. Do you know what the GCF of 12 and 15 is? If you don't, you're going off to the side, 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. 15 is 1 and 15, 3 and 5. And you're finding the greatest number they both have, okay? They both have x's. I choose the smaller one. And then they both have z's. So 3xz, my GCF goes out front. 12 divided by 3 is 4. My x's cancel, my z's cancel, and I'm left over with y squared. 15 divided by 3 is 5. X squared divided by x is x, and the z's cancel. All right, number 5. So this is the first time that we've seen this, but my leading coefficient is negative. So no matter what, my GCF is negative. Now it's important to know your math facts because you should be able to just look and know what the GCF is. If you don't, once again, you're going off to the side and writing down all of the factors. Okay, 1 and 28, 2 and 14, 4 and 7. Okay, now they all have x's. My GCF is going to be the smallest one. So negative 14 divided by negative 7 is a positive 2. X cubed divided by x is going to be x squared. Positive 7 divided by negative 7 is going to be a negative 1. Negative 1x. Now you don't have to have that 1 in your final answer. Negative 28 divided by negative 7 is a positive 4. And then the x's cancel. And that's it. All right, the first thing that I notice is that my GCF is negative, or my number out front is negative. Now, the only number, because let's double check, 3, my GCF is 1 and 3. That's a negative 1, while 1 is just 1 times 1, and 6, 1 and 6, 2 and 3. The only number they have in common is 1, so that's all I can take out. It's a negative 1, and then negative 3 divided by negative 1 is a positive 3x squared. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 is a positive 1x, and positive 6 divided by negative 1 is negative 6. I can't take out the x because the 6 does not have an x. All right, we're getting there. So what does 5x squared, negative 10x, and 20 all have in common? Yeah, it's a 5. The GCF goes out in front, and then we just divide. 5x squared divided by 5 is x squared. Negative 10x divided by 5 is a negative 2x. Negative 20 divided by 5 is negative 4. My GCF is not negative because my leading coefficient is not negative. All right, the first thing I want to check, does 15 go into 45? Always check, does the smaller number go into the rest? And it does. All right, our GCF, or our number leading coefficient, is negative. So the 15 is going to be negative. Now, let's just look at variable by variable. They both have w's. The smaller one is the w cubed. They both have x's. The smaller one is the x squared. And they both have y's. The smaller one is just the y to the first. So my GCF comes out front. Negative 45 divided by negative 15 is 3. W to the fourth, w cubed, we subtract those. X cubed and x squared, we subtract. Y squared and y, we subtract. Negative 15 divided by negative 15 is a positive 1. My w's cancel, my x's cancel, and my y's cancel. So it's just plus 1. Okay, some of you guys might want to cancel out that negative 15, but just remember we're using division, and negative 15 divided by negative 15 is not 0, it's 1. Okay. What's the GCF? Yeah, it's 3. 3 goes into all of those. Now they don't all have x's, so I cannot take out an x. My GCF goes out front, and I divide. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. And 18 divided by 3 is 6. All right, first thing I see is that my leading coefficient is negative. So my GCF is negative. 2 goes into all of those numbers, and they all have an x, so I can factor out an x. My GCF goes out front, and then we divide. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1. X cubed divided by x gives us x squared. Negative 18 divided by negative 2 is a positive 9. X squared divided by x is x. And 6x divided by negative 2x is just going to be negative 3 because the x's cancel. So we're left with negative 2x times x squared plus 9x minus 3. Oh, do that one more time. Okay. Well, guys, that's it for 4.1 notes, day 1. Your homework, 4.1a, it's going to be graded. So if you have any questions, come find us. But this is Mr. Grice signing off for Algebra 2, Unit 4.1 Notes, Day 1. Thanks for watching.